In the following exercise you will become familiar with various features of the brush tool. First we need to locate the brush tool on the tool palette. So this is normally on the left of the screen. So if we make our way down, so we'll see that the brush tool is there. So if I click on that, that will select the brush tool, and you can see there's a little circle there. Notice that the brush tool icon, like many of the icons in the tool palette, has a small triangle in the bottom right corner. This indicates that more than one tool has been grouped together. Hold your mouse button on the brush tool icon and a shortcut menu will appear as shown on the right. The menu will indicate that the brush tool is grouped with other similar tools. Each tool is useful for different purposes. For instance, the brush tool paints soft-edged brush strokes, while the pencil tool draws hard-edged freehand lines. When more than one tool is grouped, you can select either one by selecting it from the list. You can also cycle through the tools in a group by holding down the Shift while pressing the shortcut key for that group, in this case B. If I hold down Shift and B, you can see that it is changing the tool. Change back to the brush tool before continuing. Okay, we're on the brush tool now. On the options palette, along the top of the screen, locate the brush size options. This is the brush size options. And click the arrow next to the brush size. A list of brush options will appear. The brush diameter, measured in pixels. How hard the edge of the brush is. Brush styles. Some more artistic styles are included further down the list. Set the master diameter to 20 pixels. Set the hardness to 100%. Draw a curved line on the picture. Select the pencil tool. Set the master diameter to 20 pixels. Draw another curved line on the image to see the difference between the two tools. Change back to the brush tool. One quick way to change the brush size is to use the keyboard shortcut. Pressing the right square bracket will increase the brush size, while the left square bracket will decrease the brush size. Right square bracket, left square bracket. This is right beside your enter key on the keyboard. So it's very handy, and it'll make working with the brush tool much easier and much quicker. Move your mouse over the image and try using the square bracket to adjust the brush size. For most of the exercise in this section, the brush size you choose won't be important. Before we continue, however, we'll change the brush colour. From the palettes on the right hand side, make sure the swatches palette is visible by clicking on its tab or by selecting swatches from the window menu. Or you could click F6. Click on a dark blue as shown on the right. Use the paintbrush to create a smiley face similar to one below. Don't worry if it's a bit uneven or lopsided. Don't worry what it looks like, it doesn't really matter. Just going to make this a bit smaller. Save your image so you can revert back to its current state later on. Pick a green colour from the swatches palette. We'll take a look at some of the other painting options. In the options palette, along the top, you can find the blending mode options. Blending modes are used a lot in Photoshop to control how colours are combined on your image. If the mode is set to normal, then the colour you paint will replace the colour you're painting over. We'll experiment with some of the other blending modes. Select the multiply mode. This blending mode multiplies the base colour with the brush colour, producing a darker colour. With the green brush colour and the multiply mode selected, paint over the lines you have already drawn. Where the green paints over the blue, the colour will darken. Try some of the other blending modes to see the effects they have on your brush. If your image becomes a bit too crowded with green paint strokes, then try changing the colour you are using or reverting to the saved state. To revert, you just go to File, Revert, and it'll go back. Okay, so what I want you to do for the rest of these exercises is follow the step-by-step guidelines that are in the document. Save your files or take screenshots of different progress that you've made for upload into the assignment modules for these labs. I think the rest of these in the painting and drawing are pretty straightforward and they're very well defined in your lab booklet. So the next thing we're going to look at is colour and saving.